10 new horror movies to watch on Netflix for Halloween 2025. It's officially spooky season, and the countdown to Halloween 2025 has begun. From zombies to slashers to supernatural horror, there's a little slice of horror for everyone on Netflix this Halloween with these brand new flicks. October is here, and you know what that means. It's spooky season. That means as the nights get colder, it's time to grab a blanket, turn out the lights, and get terrified in front of a screen with a horror movie. There are plenty of fantastic horror movies and series already available to stream on Netflix, but below we've selected 10 of the best new horror films making their way to the U.S. library for Halloween 2025. For the complete list of everything coming to Netflix in the U.S. throughout October 2025, keep it locked here on What's on Netflix. Please note, the horror movies listed below are being added to the Netflix U.S. library. Some of the films below won't be available to stream in your region outside the U.S. Coming to Netflix, 2 October. Who will win in a fight? An angsty teen going through their parents' divorce or a 1,000-year-old witch? That question is answered in the Pierce Brothers' supernatural horror. Ben Shaw, a rebellious teenager going through his parents' divorce, visits his dad in a sleepy coastal town where he becomes convinced that his neighbor, Abby, is possessed by a 1,000-year-old witch. A Christmas movie, you say? What better way to enjoy the best of both worlds of Halloween and Christmas on a cold fall evening than by sitting on the couch with a blanket, a hot drink, and watching a violent, robotic, and murderous Santa Claus? Tori's Christmas Eve plans to go out and get drunk are ruined when a robotic Santa Claus in a toy store malfunctions and goes on a murderous killing spree across her small town. Coming to Netflix, 9 October. There's a case to be made that the British are some of the very best filmmakers for comedy horrors, and Alice Lowe's violent Prevenge is an extremely fun must-watch for horror fans this Halloween. Ruth, 7 months pregnant, is still reeling from the death of her husband after he died in a climbing accident. Convinced that her unborn child is telling her to commit murderous acts, she is compelled to follow its orders and begins to track down and murder those responsible for her husband's death. Coming to Netflix, 1 October. Is it really Halloween without vampires? And is it really Halloween without watching a film of the most iconic vampire of all, Dracula? While the 1979 Dracula is often overshadowed by the many adaptations over the century, the Frank Langella film still delivers a phenomenal performance as the Count. Not to mention the film is also scored by the legendary John Williams. In 1913, England, the streets of Whitby, Yorkshire are haunted by Count Dracula, who is in search of a new bride. Teen slashers dominated the 1990s and early 2000s, and one of the most iconic franchises of the bunch was the I Know What You Did Last Summer films. While the sequel isn't as great as the original, it's still a fantastic addition to Netflix and a real throwback to 90s horror. A year after surviving the murderous fishermen, Julie and Ray are haunted by the events of last summer, but trying to move on with their lives. When they are given free tickets to the Bahamas, what was meant to be the perfect opportunity to relax turns to horror as the fisherman returns and goes on a bloody, murderous rampage across the island resort. Before zombies and slashers dominated the horror genre in the 1980s, many films that terrified audiences in the 1970s were grounded in supernatural and religious horror. Michael Winner's The Sentinel was poorly received by critics and bombed at the box office when it was first released in 1977, but like many underappreciated horrors, it has since gone on to become a cult classic,